I feel that Black Clover is not slowing down anytime soon. In fact, these last couple of chapters have been pretty slow in pacing, which is pretty common for very popular mangas, and at the same time enormous amount of action because once again it takes the spotlight in a very big and flashy way that we like. We are treated to a nice cover detailing almost all the protagonists in in this place. Well, not maybe not all of them, but all those who have been important. You know, Aster, Luck, Mimoxa, Noelle, Leon, Jamie, Gorsh, and Charmy. So, but on the other, and the real chapter, the three captains have arrived. Two captains we recall, and one we haven't seen yet, and it turns out that we will see. It's pretty funny though how their relationship is with Yami. It's a mix of the of screw you personality. I mean, Yami is such a cool character. I mean, he's a bit of a jerk, but the thing is, have you ever met a character that is introduced with a death glare? And the fact that it's so rough around the edges and he takes everything so casually, all the lying. Because the blade guy, he actually asks Yami, why are you looking like this? How was the fight? Well, it was like fighting a kitten. And turns out he and Yami has some sort of rivalry. Well, I guess he has a rivalry with all of the captains. Because if you recall, Fuego Leon, the guy who lost his arm, actually said, I hate to admit it, but Yami has a better eye for talent. Turns out this blade guy actually wants to fight Yami, but he has some code of honor and not attacking. And his name is appropriately enough revealed to be called Jack the Ripper. Yeah, Jack the Ripper, I think, at least. Um, well, Jack the Ripper scarred open people and took their organs, if I recall correctly. I guess this Jack the Ripper got his name the Ripper because of his blade magic. Or it's not blading magic, it's slashing magic, I think. He's the captain of the light green praying mantis. In fact, how many squads do Clover Kingdom have? I thought we already have seen all of them, but no, we haven't. I hope we will see what they're all. Apparently, Jack is a sadist who loves destruction and boasts of his ability to cut anything. And he and Yami once had a bickering that ended up with a mountain cut in half. Then we're introduced to that feminist-like warrior who has some interesting dialogue with Yami, like saying like you shouldn't hide behind a woman, and she's saying and Yami answering, well the ground loves it's soothing my ass, and there's no way a ground will love a fool like you. And Yami's saying, with your sharp tongue, it's no wonder you're single. Then she just says, I don't need a husband. The battlefield is my only lover. Of course, Finral gets extremely horny when he sees her, the captain of the Order of the Blue Roses, Charlotte Rosary. And yeah, she is kind of beautiful, obviously feministic. But the funny thing is, what better way to create this kind of character than make her hopelessly in love with a guy who is her exact opposite? Yeah, apparently, I think so. She is in love with Yami. Because I think she's in love with Yami. I don't think she's in love with Finral. I mean, all the others doesn't even notice he's there. So yeah, she's in love with Yami. And she's putting up that front in order to hide her crush. It's also so funny that Yami says, the battlefield is your lover, that's just sad. And she knows that if her troops find out that she's in love with a, well, I wouldn't say lousy drunk, but a guy who looks like a drunk, who fights bad hygiene, has darkness magic, and is apparently not interested in nothing more than to kick people around, then yeah, that would actually be some awkwardness. But at least I turned out that one of the reasons why she's such a strong feminist, because she's in denial of her love. And finally we have that Nozel Silver, who Yami and he apparently have a very antagonistic relationship, which is not so surprising. Like saying that I will take care of this one and take your home run so you can go home with the tail between your legs. Yeah, you're welcome, you pile of pride. And then Aster and Jami begins to mark his hair, which he doesn't really like. And so the fight starts. Of course, Asta wanna fight, but Nozel just says him to stay out of this because, as he's both a commoner and someone with no magic power, he will only get in the way. And everybody begins to fight. The lazy guy, I'm sorry, I cannot memorize their names, takes on Rosary, promising her to get her to a bar, which of course she will deny. And then we see the slash magic creates a fissure of a slash, while Jack takes care of the beast guy. And a bug who's taking care of a beast. We'll see later on. Of course, Nocelle doesn't want to take care of Fanna the Hateful. She is the only one I remember her name, and I'll tell you why soon. But he wants to, of course, take down Lisht because he has promised to take care of the one who hurt his rival. But Fanna defends him, but Nocelle is not worried because he has practiced his Mercury magic on a worthy opponent, which is of course Leon, Fuego Leon, because apparently they have a rivalry antagonist and at the same time, I guess, the only one to defeat you. And here's the reason why I only remember Fanna. You know, I got a very good theory last week. A theory I never could predict. In fact, it wasn't that easy to predict either. Because I think it was from the YouTuber Fusion Winner. He said to me that Fanna the Hateful is Mars, you know, that guy with the crystal magic sister or best friend or whatever, because she has the same emblem in her head. Technically, she should have died when that survival training program, but she is called Fanna, and although the name was a little bit different, she is also using the same kind of flame magic that Fanna used. So yeah, can Lisht bring back the dead, or do we have something else on this mind? Things are getting interesting with theories. And so Jami decides to take care of Lisht while the captains fight to distract them all. And here once again we see some theory. Lish is confident his men will win because they're beloved by Mana. But apparently one of the reasons why he hates Asta is because, not only because of Aster have hurt his allies and stuff like that, it's because somehow, again, I cannot read Lish's thoughts really. He's a hypocrite and all, but apparently also some guy kind of god worshipper of Mana. The way he says, because we're all loved by Mana, and the fact that he's actually saying that Aster is just a normal human who is hated by Mana. I mean, that's not really the mind for someone who is calling himself benevolent and will clean it. The way he says a normal human who is hated by Mana. But apparently, the reason we have still no clue what that Grimoire of Aster is, nor have we any clue on why Lish wanted. But he gives us a clue here. He's saying something like it's a mistake that a normal human who is hated by Mana is in possession of that tome. And that's what I mean by the theory. That's anti-magic, it's not magic. So why are you saying that it's wrong for a one who has no magic whatsoever to wield that? In fact, the Sorcerer Emperor confirmed that it eats away mana, so technically a guy who has mana cannot wield that weapon, even if it is strong, because it will eat it up. Eat his mana away. But again, what makes that anti-magic grimoire so desired for Lich? Is it because he's just some kind of mana worshipper, and the fact that he looks down on people who have no mana at all? Who knows? Well, either way, Jami tries to do a sneak attack. Lich, of course, predicts it, but then we finally get that scene we have been waiting for. When everybody's distracted, and with his recent learning of Key mastered, Aster takes the stage on a blind spot of Lich, and all the other captains and all of the three opposite Clovers get surprised seeing him there. And the reason is because, well, Asta could move a bit before all this because he could read the key, but also because, again, Asta may not have any magic, but that's just what is so sweet. He has no magic, therefore he cannot be sensed by others who have mana. He once again proclaims, "Never giving up is my magic," as he slashes Lich right on the body. With that, I think Asta has definitely showed himself that to shut up everybody. It's true, he's still weaker than all the other people so far, but again also, he has once again shown us that once a person looks down on him, he takes them right down. So what's gonna happen now? Will Lich finally retreat? I mean, there's no way he's gonna be fine after being slashed by that sword. But it has been confirmed that Asta's sword doesn't necessarily cut through people, but since it's so heavy, I guess you could say it's almost like he crushes them. So will this cancel out the healing flames, and will Lich now retreat? I mean, this arc has been suspenseful all the way around, but we still wish to move on a little bit. Now Asta needs a power-up. But yeah, what makes that Grimoire so special? And I do not mean just only because it has some hints to be connected to demons, nor for the fact that it's also connected to anti-magic. The way he says it, hated by mana, is that why Asta has no magic? Or is he just a religious fanatic? All in all, good introductions to the three captains, especially Rosary. And some very hardcore action. I'm already looking forward to next. Give me your thoughts if you have any.